Munchin' Movies. I'm Scott.
I'm Sam.
And today we're munching up some Death Note, Netflix edition.
2017.
So let's get right into it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so first off, I think we need to talk about like a little overview of what Death Note is, because there might be some people out there who have just seen the Netflix version and they don't know.
Like where it came from and how it came about, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I don't claim to be any expert on the manga or the anime. And I don't think either does Sam, but we both like the anime. But it was originally a manga, got adapted into an anime, and that's where we saw it. And now it's being adapted into a Netflix movie for English audiences, which we'll get more into on that. So, what do you think?
Okay, so we never read the manga, which is the comic book version of it. We saw the anime, the series, and yes, it's not our favorite series, but we still really liked it.
Yeah, I sort of have been like off and on with Death Note. I feel like it's too emo, like trying to be like, I'm trying to be hardcore. It's like, oh, we have a notebook, and the idea of the Death Note is it's a notebook that you can write people's names in it. Kills them, you know, in whatever way you write.
And it gives you this power to, you know, anyway. So it brings up some moral issues, essentially.
And actually, I think that portion of the anime is actually the part that I dislike the most, is like the whole premise of it's a notebook that you can write people's names in and kill them. I think the thing that I actually like the most about the anime, was that the characters were smart. They're intelligent. The back and forth writing between Light, the main character, and L, the sort of antagonist that at one point kind of switches off in the anime.
The prodigy detective dude who seems to just know everything.
Yeah, and it's like this like brain twister, like who is smarter than who? Like, and Light is in the anime is seen as an incredibly smart person, incredibly like intelligent, and he just everything he does is very planned out, and he plans out in his head and he talks about it, so you know. And
it's interesting because there's no definitive good guy, bad guy. Like, because Light is essentially at first the bad guy, but then he ends up doing some stupid things later, and you're like, well, is he the bad guy then?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's that moral dilemma, like what is the line between good and evil? Like, when are you doing good and when are you doing bad?
I think we need to jump now into the movie. The movie versus the anime, what are your thoughts on it?
It was so confusing. Holy crap. Like, I'm glad we saw the series because it wouldn't have made any sense to me if I had never seen it before. They cut out so much, they went way too fast.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it was a series in the first place. It should never have been a movie, you know, it was just too short, too little.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that they shortened it way too far down. Being a movie, I think they could have still done a clever adaptation of the anime as a movie, but they did it in an hour and a half. I think they probably could have given themselves another half hour to an hour even. That might be a little long to adapt this into a correct movie.
Maybe not a series like a TV series, but if they did like a mini series, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, even like sort of like what they would do with Sherlock, where it's 3 episodes, hour each episode. That would be perfect for this. Actually, I think 3 hours would be good, and I think that would give you bite-sized bits.
Yeah,
but I feel like one of the big problems with the movie right now is actually how they have turned it into like a teenage, you know,
because
like
it's an English American version. They've Americanized it, so to speak.
Yeah.
In the sense of there was no love interest. Now there's one, and it totally changes Light's whole motivation, and that's crap. Yeah, because now Light is like, he gets this book right at the very beginning, and he's like, oh man, and then Ryuk the demon Shimigami is trying to tell him like, hey, you should murder this guy who's outside, and he ends up murdering him. And then what does he do the very next day? He goes over to the girl. Guess what? I just murdered somebody. I know.
I wrote it in my book, and I'm talking to demons, and the girl's like, really? Oh my gosh.
I know, what person would be so cool with that after, you know, 20 minutes into the film? These people are insane. They're all psychopaths.
It's like, okay, if someone came over to me and told me that they had a notebook that they could write people's names and murder them, I would already be like, you crazy. If someone was like, I'm talking to the devil and he's doing this for me, I would also be like, I need to find someone else to, like, arrest you because you're, like, crazy nuts.
Like, I admit anime in its medium is kind of unbelievable anyway, but then to try and adapt that to a live action, it became ridiculous.
I think it's possible. I think that a lot of the choices, I'm not blaming the director because actually the show itself is fine. It's okay.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining enough. I wouldn't say it's a total like loss and you won't get any of it from it. If you watch the movie on Netflix, I think it has like 3 stars. It's worth 3 stars. You know what I mean? And that's how I knew that it wouldn't add up to the anime. When I saw the 3 stars on Netflix, I was like, if this was true to the anime, the fans would have given it 5.
5.
So
absolutely, yeah, no doubt.
I knew that it was going to be something missing there. But that being said, I think that they can translate the anime into the movie. I just think that too many American studios have their hands in things and they just try and say, oh, American audiences won't get it if you do this or won't get it if you do that, or that's a little too, like, bold, you know, for American audience. Bull crap. Americans love the anime.
It is infused in our culture. I'm sorry. Stop thinking like that, Hollywood. That's crap.
Yeah, I think plenty of mainstream audiences can enjoy the straight up anime version or a straight up manga version if they are given the opportunity, and I think that they should give them that opportunity, especially Netflix. Netflix, you've done some good stuff.
So my suggestion would be, if you get a chance, at least watch the series.
Yeah.
And then watch the movie. Don't watch the movie because you'll be confused as crap. Okay, so watch the series first, then watch the movie.
I think we should talk about the characters real quick. A little breakdown of the characters and why we like them, why we don't like some of them. So.
Okay, to tell you the truth, the only character I really like, I'm going to start off with my good characters, is Ryuk, the Shinigami, the death god, and the fact that Willem Dafoe plays the voice of him, and he's bloody fantastic, and even his character is true to the character in the other show. And Willem Dafoe has a very distinctively menacing voice, and that's why I love it.
Immediately when we were watching it the first time he spoke, I was like, is that Willem Dafoe? And Sam's like, let me check. And so she looks online, she's like, yeah, that's Willem Dafoe. I knew from his voice. I was making a lot of jokes during the show because it's definitely something you can make jokes about.
Green Goblin's getting mad.
Yeah, these are the extra outtakes from Spider-Man, and all they did was just cut him into this show. No, but I think that Willem Dafoe did a great job, and he really does have that menacing sort of like Joker. A lot of people have been saying like Joker-esque. I don't quite think that he's Joker-like, but I think that he does a great job as Ryuk, this kind of like chaotic demon type of character.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Light, the main character.
Light has like eyes like the moon, like they're huge.
Like the first time he looked at the camera, like full on, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like he's like peering into your soul.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like scary looking, and I don't know if that's why they chose him, but honestly, I didn't really care for him.
He screams like a girl.
He screams like a girl. What the heck? Like it's pretty bad. Even I scream more manly than he does. I'm sorry. I know that sounds terrible and it's totally sexist of me, but whatever.
No, I think actually the character, we're giving him a little grief. I think his acting performance was pretty okay.
It was okay for what he was given.
For what the direction and the like dialogue. I think he could have done a really good job with the original dialogue too. But yeah, he has very big eyes and he does have this kind of girly scream, which is kind of funny at moments in time.
But okay, so the love interest, there was no love interest. This chick should never have been in the show. She bothers the crap out of me. She's kind of a bitch.
Well, and the thing is, in this, she's like, so he's just falling in love with her, and just because he loves her, he wants to murder people, which is such a weird thing, I guess, but I mean, that's kind of what happens.
But obviously she didn't love him.
But she's just into murdering people.
Yeah, like she's a psychopath. She's insane.
And I love that she's like the head cheerleader, and like they show how she's like a bad cheerleader because she's smoking while they're practicing doing the boobs. Some of the scenes in this are just laughable.
Precious. Yeah, they're downright precious. So her, I could have lived without her. Sorry. Yeah. L, the
I think he did a pretty good job. I like the character, and I like the actor who played him. I think he did a good job. It's over the top, and as a character, he is over the top, so it was fine. I do feel like they tried to strike like real, like the poses that were in the anime where he's sitting and he's hunched over.
He's like all crouched over.
And I don't think that works in live action, so I think that was a little bit of a miss. But overall, I thought he was a great character.
Yeah, I thought he was a good character too. Again, his story arc just wasn't developed enough, and so by the end of it, you're like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, which is sad because L is one of the most fascinating characters in the show. So.
Yeah. And overall, so what do we think of the movie? What do we give it? I think it's worth a watch. I don't think if you don't have any interest in watching it, don't watch it. It's a waste of your time. If you have any interest in Death Note or wanting to know what it's about, watch the anime, then watch the movie.
As a movie, I'm gonna give it a really low score, like a 3. I thought it was really crappy, but the adaptation, if they made it longer, I'm gonna give it a 6.
I would give it a 4.5, and if they did make it longer and were able to add it better, maybe around a 5.5.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching.